whoa. You know, I don't recognize any of these words, and, I don't remember. Whoa, what was that? Oh my god. Whoa. Whoa. I didn't know that. Well, if I didn't know any better, it sounds like there's a witch out here, and there's also someone breathing heavy like Jason Voorhees. Marbles. Oh my god, somebody said marbles! Whoa. I never should have ever watched Freddy vs. Jason. I never should have watched it. It was so scary for Brandon. He really likes both of the series, and he thought it was a good combination with the Jason. I should have stayed in captivity. Oh my god. It's a headless horseman! It's a headless horseman right by! Oh my god! I thought that was an urban legend, but then he just went right by me with his headless horse. He was headless and he was looking for his head.
I'm fucking headless, bitch!
Please don't talk to me! Please don't talk to me!
What the fuck you talking about? You talking to me?
No, sir. Actually, sorry to tell you what. That guy was so mean. I don't know why he had to scare me like that and just ride off. He could have given me a ride once I realized he wasn't the headless horseman, but just the man who was headless. Oh my god, is that a moo cow? I didn't know there were any moo cows on the island. Whoa. Sounds like he has mad cow disease. Whoa. This ain't no safe place for a girl like me. On Halloween, it ain't no safe place for a girl. Hello? What's happening? Oh no, LDG, follow me! LDG, did you come? Are they abusing? They must be abusing LDG too. Can see them too.
I need help.
Grandpa? Grandpa?
Help me! I haven't passed on Volley!
Hello?
It's All Hallows Eve and I'm out! Put me back! Help!
Grandpa, is that you?
Yes!
I thought we made you into cookies and ate you and shit you
All Hallows
out.
Eve!
It's All Hallows Eve. What are you doing out here? Where are you?
That's what happens to spirits!
Oh my god, you're a spirit!
Help!
I don't like seeing a ghost!
What happens when I materialize right in front of you?
Oh my god, you're so bright and blue!
Hey.
Grandma, I really miss you. Ever since you died, I've really been wanting you to come back, so it's cool that you're here, but I'm scared that you're a ghost.
Yeah, they put me into a cookie and ate me.
Well, you asked it to, and we put you into millions of pieces.
It's not what I
and we
wanted.
shook you up.
It's not what I wanted.
That is what you wanted, Grandma.
No, it's not.
Grandma, we ain't supposed to ask
I
you.
wanted to live.
Grandma, we ain't supposed to ask you.
Well, I just want everybody to regret what they did.
Well, honestly, this scene's going so well, I do kind of think maybe we're missing that kind of energy on the show. The character.
Bring me back.
LDG don't like it, though. LDG's concerned.
Shut that mutt up.
We have a big problem with dogs on this show.
LDG. Stop it.
There you go, little girl. She's my guard dog, but Grandpa's not gonna hurt me, right? You're just big and blue and beautiful, right?
Yeah, unless I'm
You're a nice ghost.
Yeah, unless I'm a spirit masquerading as Grandpa.
Oh! I didn't even
What
think
if
of
I
that.
was the devil?
Whoa. I'm gone. I don't care what he needs. I'm gone. He can haunt somebody else.
Just like always.
Whoa. It ain't too safe to be a girl like me. On Halloween. Hello? Oh my god, what's going on over here? Sounds like someone's smoking that goat weed.
Yeah.
Whoa.
You want some?
Oh, hello?
You want some of that?
I don't see anybody.
Marble.
Get away from me. This is my never would have happened if you would have reminded me.
If I was
to
the
just shut
reminder?
the door. Yeah, if you just would have if you would have reminded me to shut the door, Hobarth, we wouldn't be
What
out.
do I give a fuck?
Well, now we're out here on Hallows Eve with all the ghosts and the spirits
I
running
don't
around.
care. What are you afraid? I thought you were a man.
I'm afraid. I'm not afraid of no ghosts.
Look at me. I'm a goddamn woman.
I ain't scared.
I'm not afraid. Yeah, you're afraid. What are you talking about? You're fucking afraid.
I am not. Stop you yelling. Stop you yelling.
No, this is what you do every time. You get afraid and then you get mad at me.
Well, it's not my fault. If you would have just reminded me, that's all I'm saying, I wouldn't have to be scared in the first place, Hobarth.
Well, I'm done with you. I'm done with this.
Oh, wait, whoa. First rule of horror movies, you never split up with your partner. Mirapose went with DG.
We already split up!
But you're my buddy. You're my partner. I can't leave you.
No, when you split up from the main gang, that's when stuff happens. Anything could happen to us when we're just two.
We're not gonna... Yeah, exactly, and we can't...
And now you got the thought in my head that somebody's gonna come murder me because I'm trans.
No, for God's sake,
I'm already going to be a victim of a hate crime just by statistics.
Nobody hates you because you're trans. They hate you because they think
Tell that
your
to
armpit
Mirapose.
hair is gross.
Why is this the first time you're telling me this?
It's not the first time. I put a...
Why do you decide to tell me this on All Hallows Eve in the middle of the woods?
Well, I don't know.
Knowing damn well I
it's
can't
just
shave
come up.
anything.
It's just come up. I mean, maybe you haven't checked have you checked the candies yet for razors? There might be razors in the candy.
No, I haven't.
There
Thank
could
you
be
for
a
that.
razor in the candy.
I know, I've heard about that.
And if you ever on the need for a good shave, a good trick or treat will do. The
Yeah.
kiddies are out doing it. So listen, please don't leave. Please don't leave. I'm a little scared that
I'm a little scared.
I'm a little scared that if you leave, that I'm gonna come across the ghost. And I don't want to. Oh my God! No, I'm not scared. No, I'm not scared.
No, I don't know what the hell
I've
that
seen
was.
differently abled people. I've seen differently abled people. This
Yeah,
man
I
clearly
know.
has lost his head. It's okay.
There's nothing wrong with
There's
seeing
nothing-
somebody without their head.
Hello, sir. Please come. Look, dog.
What the hell?
You hear that, dog? Is that LDG?
Let's follow it.
LDG.
Oh, Clark! Why do I have to be the one to hold Shelly Ann in her fucking drunken stupor?
Well, we didn't know that we were going to have to do this. So, I mean, it just seems like, you're the mother. You're the only mother here. Tristan, he's a father. Fathers don't really do that. Mothers, they carry.
Fathers don't carry people?
Well, they do sometimes.
This
I
is
mean,
ridiculous.
mothers you're used to, you carried babies for 9 months.
I
so
don't
can't
know.
you carry her a little longer?
I'm just tired of doing this. I'm tired of doing this. I'm scared.
Look,
Creepy things are happening. There's spiders everywhere.
I know,
No!
Oh, it's okay, it's okay.
Arachnophobia.
It's okay. It's not a poisonous spider. It's a daddy long legs. I can see.
No!
It's okay.
No!
They're cute. Look, daddy's long legs. They're the most poisonous spider ever, but God made
What?
it so they can't bite you. Can't bite you.
So you're telling me this thing can do nothing to me?
No, look, you can kill it if you want to. Smack it.
I'm gonna pull out each leg
Oh yeah, get that.
individually.
Oh yeah, he is writhing.
Oh, now he's got half his legs. What could he do
Yeah,
possibly
exactly.
with half of his legs?
You know, if you hold him sideways like this, he looks like an eyeball with 3 eyelashes now.
That's kind of funny.
It looks like he's
I'm
blinking.
gonna
He's
keep
winking
him.
his eyelash at you. Okay, here you go.
Put him in my pocket.
I'm
here.
glad you're not afraid of spiders anymore.
No, I'm deathly afraid of him. That's why I chose to do it. But
Well, it's like keeping something that can make you stronger, It's...
are we gonna look for him?
Oh, yeah.
What
Sorry.
are we doing?
We're just looking around, Tristan.
I'm tired. I've been doing this for too long. We've been walking. We don't even know where we're going.
Well, we're just kind of following the trail,
What? I don't even really remember how we know that Sister Marble is anywhere.
They
closely.
threw a brick through our window, and then, I guess there is kind of a lot of gray area between the brick and the window
I guess we
and
just-
now.
What is this, like our spider senses
Yeah, something like that.
tingling?
It's just,
Well, we enabled an army with Shelly Ann. We were coming with the army, and we were going to go to Russia, because that's where they said they were.
You idiots!
Huh?
I'm the one who told you!
Grandpa?
Can't give me credit for anything, can you, you dumb fucks?
Grandpa! Everybody's... Grandpa! It's Grandpa!
You went against my wishes.
How did I go against your wishes?
I'm dead now.
That's explicitly what you wanted.
Well, now I don't.
Well, I know, Grandma, listen, I know, deep down, always
I
you
get
wanted
to come
to be...
back once a year.
You wanted to be alive, period. You didn't want to be turned into ashes, but Bertram took care of that ages ago. So what am I supposed to do?
Maybe I should go hunt him.
It was an act of compassion.
Yeah, I saw the marble not too long ago.
You saw Mrs. Marble? Mrs. Marble. Sorry, she's going to be Mrs. Marble. She's still Miss Marble right now, I guess.
She's not taking Brandon's last name.
Could you imagine Sister... What else? What would her last name be at that point? I mean, she's Sister Marble. She can't be anything else.
Well, when you get married, typically you take the last name. I mean, I was planning to take yours. Beverly County.
That is pretty cute.
If you ever popped... I mean... Did the question ever
What
pop?
about Clark Hillbillies? I mean, I could be feminist and take your name.
No, we're not doing any of that gay, progressive bullshit.
I just want you to know I still have intentions to marry you, but we should probably get back on the trail to Sister Marble.
Grandpa, where did you see her?
She's trail somewhere. She's scared as all living hell. I scared the living bejesus out of her.
Why would you scare her? I thought...
Oh, I'm a ghost!
Ah! Well, you do have a nice blue aura to you.
That's
when
what
you
she
get
said.
angry. You kind of like shimmer blue. It's kind of beautiful. When
Thank you.
like because I know it's you, I think it's beautiful. But if it was another ghost, I would be really scared.
Thank you, yeah. Beverly, honestly, you're a bitch. You haven't even acknowledged my presence here.
Yeah, you are kind of being rude.
I don't know what to say. I put an end to you in my mind, and now you're here.
We have grieved. It's been a long time since we've heard your...
Yeah, well, most people have forgotten about me, and that's why I didn't want to die without a legacy.
I don't even understand. So you're a spirit, so you're allowed to come back on All Hallows Eve, but you haven't completely passed over, because, like, what, some piece of you is still stuck out there somewhere?
I don't know. I haven't ironed out any details. I'm just here now. Wish I was here full time.
Is that a dog?
I think that is a dog.
You want to go rescue it, Beverly?
Of course I do.
It's too scary out there. Come on, Grandpa. We're going to go rescue this dog.
Okay.
Tristan?
Yeah.
Well, it's not safe for a girl like me to follow away.
Oh.
Oh, what is that? Whoa.
Oh.
Oh. I hear something stumbling around in the woods behind me. Oh, is that a monster? If there's a monster behind the bushes, I'll go to machete!
Oh.
Frankenstein's monster!
No.
It's a man put together with lots of pieces, and he's dyed green and his arms are raised, and he's got bolts in his neck, and he's got scars all over him. What am I supposed to think? Get away from me, you monster with
He's
big
not a
knees!
monster, you Nimrod. He's my husband.
Nancy Sachs of TV's News?
Yes, it's me, Nancy Sachs of TV's News. No, I'm not signing any autographs, but listen, I need some help with him. He's got gangrene, horrible infection, sepsis.
Well, how did he get so sick?
He's old.
Oh my God, Frankenstein's monster, Nancy's husband.
Oh, I'm fine.
Oh, you speak normal?
Yeah.
Well, you look like a monster.
I'm not exactly.
Wow.
He's really weird.
Well, how are you not like a monster? Because to me, you got neck bones, you're green, look like you got stitches all over you, like the pieces of different men put together.
I've had a few operations.
Did Nancy Sachs put you together from lots of pieces from other people?
No. I'm just me.
Why are you green? That's the gangrene, I guess?
That's the gangrene. My body's rotting.
Oh my God, well, I'm sorry, Frankenstein's monster, Nancy
He's
Sachs.
not Frankenstein's monster, Sister Marple. That is my husband, Frank.
LDG, it's okay. He's not a monster.
Frank Sachs, can you... I've heard that dog out here all night. Now listen, we gotta get...
She thinks you're a monster too. She thinks you're a monster, so that's why she's barking.
No,
And she's barking so loud.
If anything, she's barking because she wants my autograph. I mean, Nancy. Don't.
Well, she's barking so much I didn't even understand what you introduced your husband as. LDJ, I appreciate your support, but this is not a monster. Would you introduce yourself to my doggy?
What?
Not you, Nancy! Everybody knows who you are, God damn it! You're the most famous goat on this island! I'm talking about your fucking freak husband! It's Halloween and he's out here looking like Frankenstein's monster and my dog's barking like a motherfucker! If he just introduced her and let him snip her hand, maybe it'll be okay.
Oh, hey there, little, DG. Let's not have her touch me.
Well, I mean, as long as now she knows you're not a monster, maybe now she won't bark as much. I'm really lost in the woods, you guys. Could you please, you're adults, could you get me out of here?
Yeah, well, I just followed Frank in here because he's doing, there's nothing stopping him from doing whatever he wants. He'll do anything, so I'm just gonna have to tag along sometimes.
Well, Frank, could you lead us out of here? I'm really scared.
Ain't nobody getting let out of here.
Albert!
Yup, I followed you.
I knew we would find her. I kept saying, when you're in the woods, you turn left at every third tree and you'll eventually find
That's not why we got here. We followed the dog's noise.
I know, but if we hadn't followed the rule of getting to every third tree and turning left, we never would have gotten close to hear the dog anyway.
We started doing that after we heard the noise.
Well, whatever you say. Whatever you say. It works no matter when you employ it. If you go left at every third tree, you will find what
If
you
you go
are
left at
looking
every third
for.
tree, you make a fucking square. You never get anywhere. You do it 4 times, you're in the same position.
You could think of it that way.
You're doing
You could think
circles,
of it that
looping.
way. But if the third tree is further than the other third tree, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We found her. We found her.
You're making progress slowly in one direction, but you're looping.
We found her, and we got a gun. So everybody, put your fucking hands up.
Oh.
You two are very polite. What's a beautiful couple like you two doing out here?
What are you talking about, beautiful?
I'm trying
Look
to
at
be.
the man!
I'm
He's
trying-
disgusting!
We were just trying to be inclusive to the man without a head, the headless horseman.
That man's Lincoln! He's Lincoln!
He obviously was trying to get to the hospital. He was going as fast as he could.
He's actually not leaking. That's actually my tit milk. He likes to drink it.
Oh, it's true.
So you kind of a freak, you know, you seem very normal, but you're kind of a freak. You're out here on Hallows Eve, you don't care, and you're out here looking like a monster, and you don't even care on All Hallows Eve. You're out here dripping in your wife's tit milk. What else you like to do with your wife's tit milk?
Drink it.
Put it up your ass?
Yeah.
You make her put your... Is that why your wife's got stained boobies? Rip open this lady's shirt, Hobart. Rip open this
I'm doing it!
Rip open the shirt.
Oh! That brown is all hell!
Man,
Yes, it's true. He makes me do it.
you... Oh my...
He makes
God.
me shove my saggy
You
tits
put-
in his ass.
And then you squirt. Dude, no wonder you looking like a fucking monster. You got some fucked up kinks, brother. Give me some nuts on that one.
Oh, nuts on that one.
You know, you seem like a good couple. What's a good couple like you doing out here dripping in tit milk at this time of night? On All Hallows Eve. Don't you know there's ghosts and shit out here?
I don't know.
She said she just followed her husband, Frank, out here.
Oh, yeah.
Well, what?
I smoked a little bit of goat weed earlier.
Oh, don't even get me started on that fucking goat weed
I
shit.
don't do that shit.
That I can't believe these
I
people.
can't believe-
You want to
I
go
thought
with
they were
them?
good people.
You want to go with them, Marble? They're druggies. You gotta come with us, all right?
We
At
don't
least
do
we're
drugs.
a safe place. We ain't gonna
We do better
nothing.
drugs.
We don't do shit like that. We do sex gremlin drugs. That ain't nothing that's gonna fuck up, make you stupid like that. They
Right,
do
we don't-
shit
we
that
don't-
make you stupid.
I think I hear something up there.
Yeah, I hear something too. Be very quiet. I hear that
Oh
dog
my
getting ready to bark.
I smell something up there.
What do you smell?
I smell a sex gremlin.
What do you smell? A sex gremlin?
I do.
Is that what that stench of like semen is?
Yeah, it kind of smells like me, doesn't it?
Yeah, I do smell like
It's more pungent though.
Yeah. What could a sex gremlin be doing out here?
I don't know. All the sex gremlins should be, you know, sort of in the quarters by now. It's not really the kind of time of day for them to come out.
And there aren't too many other sex gremlins beside the ones that are in our military.
No, we did have to banish a couple though.
Oh, uh-oh.
I mean, some of them just weren't cut out to be in the military.
Well, yeah, you're right. We did.
Cowardice.
Yeah, you're right.
We're not gonna kill them like the British did.
No, you're right. You're right.
You know,
we're not that evil. We're not that evil.
No, we're not. But yep, there's definitely something. My bone is tingling.
Let's just keep walking and see what we discover.
All right, yo.
Yeah.
Not you, Marble.
Oh, okay.
Yo, Nancy Sachs. Get down on your knees and
Yeah.
put those tits away.
In the last scene, we figured out you and in between, we figured out who you were, and now we want millions of dollars from you.
I knew who she was. Did you not?
I don't watch
You don't watch TV.
I don't watch smut fake news like that shit. No.
It's not all fake.
We are personal friends now of DG, and you're gonna support Nancy Sachs. Millions of dollars, Nancy. I hear your husband's a tech developer.
Oh, I mean, Nancy, you could just write them a check.
You were mentioned in the book. You
I'm
know
not
what? In
writing a
fact,
check
in
for
fact,
these
you
two
told me
fucks.
you were mentioned in a book, and in that book, your description is of a monster. I get it now.
Oh, yeah. Nancy, how many times am I gonna tell you to put the tit away? It's gross. It's grossing me out.
We don't like seeing your shit covered
sorry.
tits. We don't like
I'm wearing
it.
a blouse and they hang low.
Tuck them into your pants.
I can't, my hands are behind my back.
Oh my god.
I don't want to.
I'm not
be the one that
untying
does it.
I'm not untying them. I'm not
Sister
tucking
Marble,
in the boobies.
you get up and you tie her tits together.
Tuck the boobies into a pants, Sister Marble.
No, she has to tie them up.
Tie them up and tuck them. I don't want to see them.
This tech developer, man, he might be able to get, how are we going to get money out of him if we steal the credit card?
Yeah, he's just gonna call Chase and have him block it.
People like that don't use Chase. People like this use fucking Wells Fargo.
American Express.
Wells
Oh,
Fargo.
you think you're so cool? You use Wells Fargo and American Express? I'll punch you, motherfucker.
Oh! Oh! Oh!
You're gonna give
That
us
hurt.
millions of dollars. You and your wife Nancy are gonna give us millions of dollars. Then we're gonna take this marble and we're gonna go back to our torture chamber where we're gonna keep doing what we do. And we're gonna smuggle and we're gonna kidnap and we're gonna rape and we're gonna do what we want. Well, maybe not that last part. Sorry.
I want to get out of this kind of business. If
Hold
we get
on.
the millions of dollars, I want to retire. Let's go to fucking
You're
somewhere.
right. And you know what? You know what else? Mirapose ain't here. We could just take the
That's
money.
what I'm...
Take the money and
Is
go.
that not what you were thinking this whole time?
What's going on here?
Who the fuck is that?
This is President Clark County. Who am I speaking with?
Get on the ground.
Oh, no weapons needed.
Hey,
No
guys.
weapons needed.
Guys.
I'm needing help!
Hold on.
I'm needing help!
Who the fuck is that other sex gremlin?
You smell him too? Because he smells you.
I smelled you from the second I walked in.
Oh, you one of them.
Yeah, I'm one of them.
You one of them.
I'm one of us.
Well, I'm one of me. And he's one of... She! Don't forget, this is my
She,
sister.
what are you talking
This
about?
is
That's
my
a
sister.
dude.
She. My
I'm
sister.
not a dude!
This is my sister, Hobart. Yes, she's trans. Yes.
Why do you gotta tell everybody?
Well, some people are
They
curious.
should know!
I could tell in Tristan's face. Sorry, I just assumed you're that guy.
Yeah, truly.
You're that guy?
You already know who I am. I'm the biggest sex gremlin on the island.
Well, it's because I was in your boot camp, motherfucker. I went through your goddamn
yeah, I know, I
military
remember
boot
you.
camp, and you sent my ass out! You told me I wasn't good enough for your fucking military!
You
well, what's
refused
wrong
to
with
do
me
anything
now?
I told you!
What's wrong with me now, Tristan?
You still don't know how to hold a gun, bitch.
Well, get him, Tristan!
Hold on, I still have a gun. Tristan, put the gun down. Why would I put the gun down? I'm the guy who's coming to save the day. Tristan, I'm gonna blow my own brains out if you don't put it down.
Why would...
I'm not putting it down, so you might as well.
Are you mad that, like, your brother is knocked out, so you're going to...
Shut the fuck up, Clark County.
Don't shoot my penis. I saw you look at it.
I'm gonna shoot it.
Don't shoot my penis!
I'm gonna shoot
Beverly,
it
he's
if
going-
Tristan doesn't put the gun down!
Tristan, put the gun down.
I'm not putting the gun down, Clark. We've been through this enough. I'm a trained military professional, trust me.
Okay, well, he's not going to put the gun down either.
Okay, well, please
I mean,
don't.
she.
Chris-
Sorry, she. My penis! No!
How could you have done this?
Oh, I'm going eunuch for the rest of life!
This gun doesn't have any bullets in it!
What? It doesn't. What do you mean it doesn't have any bullets?
It doesn't have any fucking bullets in it. Now you guys just...
I just woke up from the floor, by the way. It's me, Haggity. I forgot I was knocked out. I woke
You
up.
didn't necessarily have to be knocked out. I just disarmed you.
And you just told me what you told me about me, and that I forgot to put bullets in the gun that Tristan got from us.
I know you didn't.
I just feel bad, and then this guy just got his dick shot off, and I mean,
I didn't mean to
just
shoot his dick
so
off.
crazy.
He provoked me.
This has gone crazy.
He provoked me. Listen, can we cut out a deal here? We don't want any trouble. We just want them millions of dollars over here.
Yeah, we want millions of dollars from Nancy. Yeah, you see Nancy Sachs? She's not doing autographs.
Yeah, I'm here.
She's not doing autographs for whatever reason. She's just directing us
I'll
to...
do autographs if you let me go. Now, please.
Oh, earlier you were directing us to your fucking cameo.
I never directed you to my Cameo, but thank you for mentioning it. Cameo.com/Nancy Sachs, and that's Sachs with an X.
Whoa, can we just get out of here? I'm getting real scared. And Frank is really starting to leak.
I mean, I guess the marble can go. I mean, we got the...
I want to come back with you guys because they kidnapped me. I want to come back with you guys.
No, listen, Marble, you ain't leaving. Hold on, until we make a decision.
You're trying to jump the fucking gun. We're trying to negotiate.
We're trying to
We
figure out what
want
the best
Nancy
deal...
Sachs millions of dollars, and we want our freedom, and we want to go before Mira Pose knows.
Well, frankly, I'm not, my husband had his dick shot, right? So I'm trying to figure out what the hell's going on here. Frankly, I don't give a damn about Nancy Sachs. I mean, she provides entertainment for the people, but she's fake news.
Take her money.
Take the money.
Take her money and go. Give us the marble, and we leave. Get me home. Everybody wins. My penis is
You have to
gone.
promise us not to persecute us.
I need to see doctor. Take me to Dr. Xavier.
Promise us not to, come after us. You're not gonna...
Nobody's coming after you.
I need it in writing.
I promise.
I need it writing!
I'll make it national. Whatever the fuck your name
I can't
is.
take
Dave.
your word.
What am I supposed to do?
Well, let me get my pocketbook out. Sign this.
A check?
No. A note. It says that they're not in trouble for shooting your dick.
Oh my god. Okay.
Well, I just really want to get out of here. So
Yeah, we gotta
anything
get you
else
home,
to
Sister
do-
Marble. Come on.
anything else to
Come up
do?
here, climb up in my fur. You cozy.
I didn't know you got a fur coat for Christmas.
Yeah, I don't know. Hey, we got the marble now. I mean, these two fucking clowns couldn't cut it in the military.
The person you should be scared of is finally
Who the fuck?
here.
Oh no, Tristan. I wish you had a working gun, because you're the only one here who knows how to use
Don't
it.
worry, I've got a working gun.
Oh!
Is that your husband, Nancy Sachs, you fake news bitch? Well, he's dead now!
He killed her.
You're goddamn right, the spirit of Bartholomew Hillbillies. I fucking killed Frank Sachs. Why? Why? Frank! Do you know what they say? You shouldn't go out on All Hallows
The last gurgles from my husband. Just heard the last gurgles. Frank Sachs. I'll never be fool again. For as long as I live.
Here's your piece of paper.
No piece of paper will do anything.
Hey, no.
Hey,
no
Gideon
paper.
Hogarth, you work for the lady on the radio, and she would not be happy if you did something like that and left in the middle of the assignment.
Yeah, but I also kind of work for the president.
You don't work for me. I just need to get to a doctor. Somebody please get me out of here. Get me to a doctor. My penis was shot
We're
off.
kind of in a thing.
Here, I can do something real quick. Remember, I'm Dr. Kamenside. Here's a little tranquilizer.
Oh, well, at least it'll keep me okay. Get something worked out, and listen, before I go to sleep, We want the marble.
Yeah, we're not leaving you without the marble.
Nobody's getting the marble. She's my only collateral.
No, we get the marble.
And I've already fucking blown someone's brains out, so do I have to blow someone else's?
Yeah, well, good luck finding her.
What?
Did you see it anywhere?
Wait, what? Whoa!
We've been looking for her this whole time.
We thought she was here, but in all the time, if you notice, there's a long stretches of time where she doesn't say nothing, and so many other
She's not
people
saying
talk,
anything.
and that's when she goes other places. If people aren't talking, you can't assume they're still here.
Exactly.
It's not a TV
2
show.
seconds too late, dumbass.
It's not a TV show. We can't show you who's still here. You have to assume. If you can't hear them talking, they might be gone. And
Might
Sister
be.
Marble, apparently she's gone. Isn't that right, Hoboth? We weren't watching.
I wasn't.
It's doing the Haggity.
What the hell? Kinda weird what just happened. It's like the sky opened up and we heard something from an alternate dimension.
That is really weird, and I really think that we should take that as a sign that we should wrap this up, Mirror Pose, because crazy shit happens on All Hallows Eve. There's a ghost of a grandpa right there.
Hi, how's it going? I think she should leave too.
Why should I be the one that leaves when I'm just doing what the lady on the radio
You
says?
dumb bitch.
What, Tristan?
You're a dumb bitch.
I don't care what you say. The lady on the radio says we needed to kidnap Sister Marble while something else
Why did she
goes
tell you
on.
that? Do you know why they're giving you these commands? Why do they want
Oh, I
Then tell me.
know. I'm involved. Don't worry, I'm involved.
Tell me.
Well, when's the last time you saw Roseanne?
No.
When's the last time Beverly saw Thumbelino?
You cunt!
It's the lady on the radio you gotta be mad with. You can't be mad at Mira Pose. First name Mira, last name Pose. Can't be. Now listen, if you fuckers ever want to see your kids again, you'll give the marble back, and you'll, well, you know what? Fuck it. Keep the goddamn marble. All this was a distraction to kidnap all of your motherfucking children, and you guys are such negligent parents that you didn't notice that systematically over the last few weeks, me and my sex gremlins have kidnapped every child from the island.
What?
Every child.
But if that would have happened, somebody would have told us.
Nobody noticed. Who would have told you? Your
There's no
babysitter
way
sister, Carissa, she's tied to the child legally and literally and medically.
Has anyone seen her? Clark's out. Oh my God, Tristan! Have you seen Sister Carissa?
No.
Nobody's seen
I
Sister
don't really
Carissa.
care about her, and I don't really care about your kid either.
They're all in a secure location with the lady on the radio.
Well, I guess we'll have to figure that one out. Who she is.
Guess that's a message for Did you get the marble? Did you get the marble?
Hey, lady on the radio?
Who is this?
Hello?
Who is this?
I was talking to you earlier. You don't remember me?
I had somebody else speaking for me earlier. Who is this?
Hoboth.
Ah, yes, one of the underlings. Did you
Yeah,
get
just-
the marble or not?
If I didn't get the marble, would you be mad at me?
I would be mad at Mirapos.
Yeah, well, she didn't get it. In fact, she was just about to give it up because she said it was all a distraction or something. And then she gave up the entire plan to the enemy.
Oh, yes, you know, oh, Sufka! Alright, you all are done for. I am on my way. Hello and welcome to MOATAIF. We're back, folks. Yeah, here we are yet again, Halloween special. You know, what can you do?
Why you say it like that?
do? I don't know. I don't know why I said what can you do. Sometimes, like, I'll just start saying things and then I'll just say, what can you do? I don't know why. I've noticed that lately. Like, I think
Is that like a new phrase? Like we all get these
Yeah.
like, new phrases?
I was like, oh, what can you do?
I haven't felt very Halloween-y in a while.
Yeah.
Nothing scares me anymore. It's really annoying.
Yeah, no, nothing's very scary. You know, I haven't gone to a haunted house in certainly years. And the only one that I would even consider going to is Dayton Scream Park. And I wouldn't consider going there after we talked about the debacle that happened there last year with like all of the
Oh,
fight
the
that broke
riots.
out. Yeah, the riots that broke
The
out.
literal riots at the Dayton Screen Park.
So like, even though that one's probably the best, the one that would consider the
Closest.
best, like, it's still not very scary, but there's still something about Halloween that I like. I just love Halloween. You know, I've gotten a few new Halloween decorations this year. We got a 4-foot inflatable witch that blows
That's
up
cool.
outside the house. That's cool. And we got some we got a scarecrow that we put out there.
That's cool.
That's like kind of more like a fall vibes instead of like Halloween, more like fall. But you know, some yard signs that used to be out on my balcony. They look really nice out there. But of course, Will has destroyed some of them with the weed whacker, which
Why
kind of
did he
pissed
do
me
that?
off. I think maybe he thought that they would be stronger and could withstand the force of the weed whacker, but they could in fact not.
Did you
And
confront him about it?
no,
or-
I didn't.
You don't seem that upset about it. Or has it wore off?
It's just kind of wore off. It was kind of like, I saw it and I was like, it was a little upsetting, but I'm like, you know, what
Kinda
can
had
you
to put
do?
up with it a little bit.
You know, yeah, it did kind of piss me off, but now that we're having like this bonfire tonight and all this stuff, like I've kind of like cleaned up the front and it looks better again. But some of them are like, I'll probably have to retire some of the yard signs, which I mean, I got like 3 years out of them. So I mean,
What
can
are
you
the
do?
yard signs?
It's like it's like pumpkins and one's like a skeleton that's like holding a pumpkin and
Oh, okay.
one's
okay.
a ghost.
Just
and-
little Halloween
Yeah.
decorations. I see.
yeah.
You just like stick them in the lawn.
Yeah, exactly. And I used to, when I bought them in Georgia, I just like drilled holes right into the railing of our balcony, and I just put them in that. And
Oh, that's cool.
I loved the way they looked. They looked so good. And like, if I kept living there, or if they were still presented in a similar way, there's no doubt that they would have lasted a lot longer. But just being in the elements directly, and then also with having somebody like attacking them with a weed whacker, I mean, they're kind of. This is probably their last season, unfortunately.
Every Halloween that comes up and I try to find decorations, I hate the decorations.
Yeah.
Like, I hate the cutesy Halloween.
Mhm.
I feel like that's been the thing for a while. And, like, I don't want, like, a cute pumpkin or, like, a
No.
cute, like, witch or something like that. I want to literally be scared on Halloween.
Yeah.
Of course, I don't think I celebrate Halloween as much anymore, being with Abigail, because she's afraid of everything.
Yeah, which I found interesting. Interesting.
She's genuinely afraid of the dark. She's afraid of anything scary. We watched 3 episodes of that DAHMER show the other day at night, and she did not sleep.
She was
Like
too
slept,
scared.
no, she slept like 2 hours. That night.
Wow.
I woke up to her still awake, being like, I've been so deathly afraid, and I'm like, oh, this is why we can't watch. Scary
What did
movies.
you think? What did you think of it? Because we watched a few episodes too, and I just thought it was kind of okay.
I thought it was done really well.
Yeah.
I thought it was like I really liked their the way they don't use music.
Mhm.
Like they don't even have to do it because it's so fucking creepy.
Yeah. A lot of people thought
I think
it
Evan
was,
Peters did a really good job.
A lot of
He is
people think it's like
actively
exploitative.
of what?
For some reason, this one in particular, everybody is like up in arms. Like even Daniel Myers, for some reason, like won't watch it because he's like, the victims said they don't want this to be made. The victims' family said they don't want this to be made, and Netflix didn't care, and they made it. But see,
I could see if it was like vilifying. I mean, like glorifying anything he did, but
it's kind of traumatic.
It paints him
yeah.
out to be like a fucking monster.
It does. I mean, it certainly does like show
The
how,
man is a fucking monster. It makes me like.
it makes him a monster for sure, but it does to a certain extent it humanizes him because it shows like, well, his parents got divorced and how that affected him. And,
Only
like,
to
how
a certain extent,
yeah.
though, because it's like I was talking to Stephanie a little bit about this. That it's like, yeah, he never really experienced love. He experienced like deep loneliness, but there's lots of people who never experienced love and deep loneliness who didn't like rape and eat people.
yeah.
He's a sick man. I mean,
There's no doubt,
The man let
yeah.
like evil consume him. I'm not really worried about it being exploitative.
Yeah.
It's like Hollywood does have a tendency to like profit off of
Mhm.
shit like this.
Yeah, and they're
So I
like
can see where they're getting.
they're
to it.
making us buy our trauma.
Who said that?
It's what
The
people
victims?
make up. No, it's what people make up. They're saying like, well, because Jeffrey Dahmer, like a majority of his victims were like BIPOC, that because of that they're like feeding us specifically, like I guess not us, but them, black people, feeding African Americans their trauma. They're selling us our trauma.
I don't have
I
any
know.
opinions on
Well,
this.
and to me, it's like, I just think of it kind of like when I did that video about teachers' salaries. Like, it's just public information.
It
Jeffrey
literally is.
Dahmer killed these people, and this is how he did it.
Right.
Now, to a certain extent...
And it's an interesting story. I
Right.
mean, it's like almost like as if it wasn't, if there weren't things made about it, it'd be like, well, they're not going to tell our truth.
Right.
It's like, I don't
Right.
know. I hate knowing.
People get mad either way.
Somehow I never knew about the controversy. Somehow
Yeah.
you always know about the controversy, like the other takes on it.
Yeah.
It might be like you're like, I feel like you have like really progressive people on Facebook or something.
I think it's because I follow some people. Like, I always see like what people like, or like.
Oh, you see like that sort of thing?
And so like I'll see like
articles pop up about it?
Yeah, or like somebody, it'll be like the guy who did Saw, the guy who made Saw. I like follow him on Twitter, and he'll usually like a bunch of tweets about random film opinions, and so like that's how sometimes I'll see them.
Does he agree with the people speaking out against this?
No, that's just an example. It's
Okay.
probably somebody like that.
You're in
though.
the world.
Yeah.
I
I'll
see.
just see things like that, and
You're in the
it'll be
community.
people like liking or sharing, retweeting.
That is fucking.
other people's
That's
opinions.
a pretty like ridiculous take. I
Yeah.
mean, I could see how it would be traumatic for like the victims' families to like watch it.
Mhm.
They probably shouldn't watch
Daniel
it.
Myers, in fact, shared something on Facebook about it. He said something like, they announced that Dahmer was the not number one, but like number 2 show on Netflix of all time, most watched show of Netflix of all time
Really?
now. Yeah, and then it was like a screenshot of Netflix's tweet saying that, and then another tweet on top of that saying me knowing that I did nothing to contribute to this, and then Daniel Myers shared that on Facebook.
Okay.
He hates, yeah, like so for some reason
I couldn't imagine
too,
caring
yeah.
that much.
I was just interested to see how it was done. I don't know if I'll like keep watching it. Like
I'd
it's
like
not,
to finish it.
It's good, but it's I don't know if it's I don't know. I'm not that worried about finishing it. I don't know.
I'd like to, but I can't see it happening. Finishing it with that.
Yeah.
I don't think she could.
She's too
ever.
scared.
Yeah, I didn't think it affected her that much until I woke up. I mean, even I went to bed having these like fucking weird,
Yeah.
like dark thoughts in my head. Like I always think when I watch shit like this, I'm like, could I be a serial killer? It always ends up being no, but then I'm like, I think about like what would my reaction be like be seeing a dead body, and I'm like sickened, like just
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know how this
Sickened.
man could have done this, but I'll picture it in my head like vividly. Like when they showed like the fucking mutilated torsos and like disgusts me.
Mm-hmm. And him like dismembering the guy.
Really, really creepy.
Yeah, it was creepy. I think part of the reason why I probably won't finish it is because Taylor and I are deep in the middle of our, literally smack dab today in the middle of our October movie marathon. Well, she went out of town this weekend, so I had to delay. I was annoyed that I had to delay watching the final Halloween movie, quote unquote. Halloween Ends.
Oh, you're gonna see that?
Yeah, it came out on Friday, and then because she went out of town this weekend, she asked me to wait until Sunday because she wanted to see it.
Uh-huh.
So we're gonna watch it tonight, and I can't wait. I hope it's good. I've seen mixed reviews, but I'm a slut for the whole series, so I'm sure I'm gonna like
You really
it.
are.
I like even the worst of the Halloween sequels. I can't wait. Someday
I
I
really
want
watched them.
Someday I want to show Taylor the bad ones, but it's like at this point I've watched every year that we've now done this Halloween marathon. We've been watching the Halloween movies because there's been a new one coming out every year.
Oh my god!
So I'm
that's
kind of like, let's leave it alone for a minute. I hope they leave it alone for a minute.
I think I watched one with you a few years ago, but I'm not sure. I don't know if I've seen any of the
Mhm.
Halloween movies, though, to be honest.
Yeah, they're all. I really enjoy them. They're really. Michael Myers used to be the one that I was the most afraid of as a kid, and I would always avoid them. But I would always see them on TV, so they're always really nostalgic for me. Like I would see them playing on TV, and I'd be like, "Oh my god!" and I would like try to avoid it. But eventually, I started watching them on TV, like on like fucking like TNT and shit like that. And then eventually bought them on DVD and all this stuff. And so over the years, I've been less afraid of it. But at first, for the longest time, and I used to have like recurring nightmares of Michael Myers when I was a kid.
Really?
And sometimes it still will happen, very rarely, that I'll have like a dream. It's always like at my mom's house. It's always like Michael Myers chasing me and like me trying to get into my mom's house.
It's weird because it's like I can't think of any movies early on that scared me.
Yeah.
I mean, I watched scary movies. I watched like Jeepers Creepers 2. Like that's the one that traumatized Abigail. That's why she can't watch anything scary because she watched that when she was like 5 or 6.
Yeah.
And then her dad told her that Jeepers Creepers was real, so she believed it.
Yeah.
But when I was a little kid, I was scared by everything.
Mm-hmm.
Scooby-Doo scared the living shit.
Really?
Yes. I was fucking terrified of Scooby-Doo.
I was sometimes afraid of Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Yeah, that scared
Yeah.
me. But by the time I was watching Courage the Cowardly Dog, I was over it.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that point, my parents, like, they always let me watch, like, R-rated movies from the earliest age I can remember. They just they're like, you know this isn't real, right? And I'm like, yeah, I know it's not real.
Mm-hmm. So
So
then
then, like,
kind of desensitized.
Yeah, I'm extremely desensitized to it. Haunted houses don't scare me. Ghosts don't scare me.
No, yeah, you can totally
aliens
disconnect
don't scare
from
me
it.
now. Aliens used to be the one thing that kind of scared me.
Yeah.
Now they don't. Now I want to be abducted.
Nah. Yeah.
So
Now I
don't
want to
know.
be abducted.
I do.
Yeah, I mean, at this point in my life, a haunted house definitely. I mean, there's probably like some that I could go to that would scare me, but at this point, I'm just like, that's just a guy. That's a fake chainsaw.
You're right.
You know,
I
what
can't
mean?
get into like the. I wish I could.
Mm-hmm. Especially because most of the ones that you go to around here are bad.
Yeah.
So it's like you already have to. You'd really have to suspend your disbelief to be able to.
I want to go to
enjoy
that
it to
one where
begin
you have to
with.
like sign a waiver.
Yeah, but then again, I don't. But that's like what it would take.
I do though. I'd like to be
Yeah.
afraid. I like to be scared. Like we used to drive around and like shit when we used to like I used to be a little afraid doing the Hell House thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the suspense of it, like
Mhm.
something gonna happen.
Right.
I like that feeling.
Mm-hmm. I always wanted to do this shit like, oh, we're gonna Crybaby Bridge, but then you find out there's like Crybaby Bridge in like every town in America.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So
I
it's
know.
like-
You thought it was just
Yeah.
a thing here, like, oh, let's drive an hour away to Crybaby
Mhm.
Bridge.
It's like nothing.
And
This
then-
is it.
Yep. I hate that. Like you grow up and you find out everybody's had a Crybaby
I
Bridge
know.
experience at a different bridge.
Right. I'm sure Hell House wasn't even Hell House.
Oh, probably.
We're just driving by some old abandoned house.
Right.
We're like, ooh. It was fun though. I mean,
It was fun.
we were able to get ourselves scared, and God knows JT loved it.
Abigail's afraid of like fucking skinwalkers. I don't know if she's actually afraid of them, but if you mention it, if you just put the possibility into her head, she'll like be afraid of it.
It freaks her out. She's
One of the-
she's
Like
not
the
a fan
first
of it.
weekend we moved in here, Lindsay was like, "I'm afraid there's going to be skinwalkers outside." Now Abigail thinks about it every time she pulls
Oh
up.
my god.
So when she pulls up, like if I'm here and she's like coming in, I have to like come out and like escort her to the house because of that one comment.
Oh my god, that's so funny. So she definitely couldn't do a movie marathon.
No, absolutely not. She might act like she could. If she were here right now, she'd probably be like defensive about it. And say,
Yeah.
like, I could. I watch scary movies. No,
But she can't.
it's not
yeah.
realistic.
No, it's not realistic. I get it. Well, in a different note, Halloween is also around election season. And not that I necessarily care any at this point, but, it is important to vote in midterm elections, I guess, because, local elections have more effect on us directly,
Yeah.
I suppose. So, I requested ballots and got them mailed to us, and I've already filled mine out, but haven't returned it yet, of course. I'm waiting until Mom and Taylor do theirs. When I open it up and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, oh shit, Dan Sachs is on the ballot.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, he actually won. I remember Bree saying that she had seen him on the ballot in the primary. And I guess this is kind of a nice continuation to when we were talking about our time with Dan Sachs at the CCPD and the CCDP.
Yeah. The whole saga.
This is definitely a nice continuation because, I see him on the ballot and I'm like, oh, nice, cool. So, obviously I voted for him. I have no doubt in my mind that he's going to lose, but but obviously I voted for him wholeheartedly. I was really excited to vote for him. I was happy to vote for him. I think he would be a good representative, and certainly he's old, but he certainly holds a lot of the same beliefs I do. And fuck, he's an atheist,
Right.
so he really holds a lot of the same beliefs I do. And he's a very rational, reasonable man who also happens to be a liberal, progressive person.
Yeah. He's a perfect person to be in there.
Great, yeah. So, I wholeheartly voted for him, and I told my mom to vote for him. I told the Bentons to vote for him. I told Taylor she's going to vote for him. I'm campaigning
we know this
for
man.
him.
Like, yeah.
We were voting for him. So I did my classic 4 votes.
Did you text him?
I texted him and I told Dan, I was like, hey Dan, I said hi, it's Zach Roberts, because I didn't want to assume he had my phone number.
Uh-huh.
And I just said, I'm back in Ohio and I was excited to see your name on my ballot. Good luck. And he calls me.
Immediately?
Yeah. I think he sent off one text. He was like, is back just for a visit or for good? And I said, for the foreseeable
Such a
future.
weird response.
And then he called me. I missed the call at first because I wasn't expecting him to call me.
Uh-huh.
So
Exit the text, set your phone down.
yeah, and I walked away and then probably went to the bathroom and came back and I'm like, oh shit. So I called him back. He finally answered. He goes, it says Harkins Karen.
What?
The caller ID. Literally every time I called his house, it says Harkins Karen. But for some reason, when I hit call on Dan Sachs, and it called what said it was his home phone, but maybe they're just mislabeled. But he said, yeah, the caller ID came up, Harkins Karen.
How could he see the call? Oh, because you called him back. I'm like, how could
Yeah.
he see that if you called him?
And I'm like, oh yeah, I said something self-deprecating, like, yeah, classic me, still on a family plan. You know what I mean?
What
Like,
did he say?
he was like, right. Like, oh, that explains it.
Oh, okay.
And so I'm just like, sorry I missed your call. He's like, oh, it's okay. Classic, immediate, oh, it's fine. And so he starts to tell me the story of how he ended up on the ballot and all this stuff. And he says, it ended up, he's like, I don't really want the job, is how he starts with it. And he says that it was really when they were looking for candidates, they couldn't find anybody. And so he decided that he would throw his hat into the ring. And he made it clear at the beginning, he said, now I don't want this classic, this is so reminiscent of what happened in 2013.
Uh-huh.
He did not learn a lesson in 10 years, but I think he learned it this time. He told them, when he announced that he was running for the office, he basically said, I don't want the job. I'm only volunteering because we don't have anybody else to do it. And they're like, okay. Now, he thought by saying that, he told me, he thought by saying that people would be like, oh, okay, so like he's doing this for the greater good, let me help him, since we don't have anybody and he doesn't really want the job, let's all just help him out, since he's like trying to do this for us. You know what I mean? It's how Dan saw it. Well, that didn't happen. He's like, it's ended up being a campaign where they haven't done anything.
Are you serious?
At all. They haven't done anything at all. To the point where Dan said he's given up. He said, he's like, I expect that I'm going to end up getting 30% of the vote just because it says Democrat under my name. That's about what every Democrat gets in Clark County. He said, my hypothesis is that if I do nothing, if I do literally nothing, I will get 30% of the vote. And he says, and that is what the Democratic Party, he says, that's what the Democratic Party thinks all their efforts, all the money that they spend, everything nets them 30% vote. He said, if I do absolutely nothing, my hypothesis is I'm going to get the same amount of vote.
To see how...
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So that
how effective they are.
So that he can say, look, I literally did nothing, and I still got the same amount of support. So what you're doing means literally nothing.
Oh my god, he's doing this to prove a point to them.
Yeah.
Damn, that's savage. Should I say damn, that's savage?
I was literally thinking the same thing. So, damn, that's savage. So I loved hearing that little bit of information. And, of course I told him, I was sad to hear that he was resigned to thinking that he was going to lose. But I was like, of course, the way Ohio's been going, and the way Clark County is specifically, it's an uphill battle for any Democrat at all. So I was like...
Especially in midterm.
Yeah, I was like, there's... I didn't say there's no hope, but we both kind of acknowledged that there was no hope. One other thing that he did mention was that he had spoken to Lisa. So Lisa, again, is still alive. Which is good news. I know, but I still... Every time I don't hear from her for like a month or so, and she hasn't posted on Facebook for like a year. She must have been one of those that's like, I hate Mark Zuckerberg and deletes Facebook.
Oh, you think?
Must be. Either that or she just
Maybe she's just tired of it.
She's just like, I'm done with social media.
I'll have to ask Dan about it or something.
I don't know. But, so then at some point we start talking, well, I guess really before we got into all that, he was asking me about, you know, where I was at before. I guess he didn't know I went to Georgia, which I didn't really post about it because I didn't want my dad to find out about it.
Uh-huh.
So I was telling him about that and told him about Taylor. He's like, I don't know if I've met her. And I was like, well, I mean, I think you have once, but no reason for you to remember. And I think she came to like a CCPD meeting. But it was at like the height of the CCPD's like attendance. So there was like no reason. I mean, he definitely met her, but he also met like 10 other people that night, you know, so there's no reason for him to remember her after all this time anyway. But then he asked me, he's like, so are you going to marry her? And I'm like, yeah, I mean, like, he's like, oh, you're not ready yet. And I'm like, well, I mean, like, I think we're emotionally there, you know, but I was like, there's a lot more to it than that, you know, with, like, insurance and finances and all that. It was a nice conversation. The main part was that he also really came down to it. He's like, when there's a post-mortem, because he assumes he's going to lose, when there's a post-mortem, he's like, unless I see some genuine understanding from them that something needs to change, I'm done.
Good.
Yeah,
You should have been done a long time ago.
Literally, yeah.
I'm shocked he's still in it.
I know. I kind of am too. And I told him, well, and it's a little sad, because then he kept going. And he said, there's only so much time and energy a person has.
Oh.
And he said there's only so much that I have left.
Oh.
Which made me really sad.
Mortality.
You know, which made me really sad. But, like, he is...
Dan's gonna live to be 90s.
Yeah, he's gonna live for a long time, for sure. I mean,
his
parents only recently died.
Yeah.
And he's, like, 75.
His mom was like 100.
Yeah. So, like, assuming all is well... And he's very healthy.
Very.
From when we were really entwined in his life, he was a very healthy man, and there's no reason to assume that anything's changed since then.
Well, he had some problems, but he didn't really talk to me much about them. Like, he would have to go to the doctor a few times a year and like check on things.
Yeah, and like he was on medications. I remember.
Yeah, he was on like a blood pressure medication.
when I would look through his private bathroom.
Well.
So he said, you know, there's only so much time and energy a person has left. I was like, well, you know, I think that's, you know, it's like if anything, you've always been very reasonable. And I was like, you've seen no traction in this at all from them. No change. And
Over 10 years.
He said 16 years.
16 years.
He said, I've been doing this for 16 years, doing jobs that I want, jobs I don't want, things that I think would help the party. And he's like, over that time, I've seen no change and still nothing.
That's sad.
And I was like, I think that's very reasonable to, you know, realize. I mean, when you've got other things,
He's literally gonna have to wait for them to die.
Literally. And I'm like, there's so many other things you could be doing with your time that, you know, you actually enjoy or that you see fruitful results from that aren't just like, do I really want to go and spend a week, you know, every other week or once a month or however long it is.
He works on things in between then.
Right. Like, do I really want to spend all that time for literally no results? I mean, that's what we talked about with the progressive Democrats. All of that for like almost over a year was for nothing.
Yep.
It was interesting to like talk to him about it though, and I honestly thought we were having a really like frank discussion.
Yeah.
And he was being very like open, just being like he
wasn't careful with like his words necessarily.
He literally said at one point, he said, I consider myself to be a successful person with almost every endeavor that I've gone with in my life. Something to this effect.
God, I hope he doesn't say this.
But
is my biggest
he
failure.
said, but yeah, he did. He
my God.
He said, but I truly consider this to be probably my biggest failure.
Oh, God.
Yeah. I was like, oh my God. Truly devastating. But I mean, we talked about it. I mean, he had to have some sort of that
We both know, we agree.
Yeah. It's a huge failure.
It took me a couple years to realize I don't want anything to do with these people.
Mm-mm. Nothing. And that's the unfortunate part was that he did say, but if...
Oh, God.
But if there is an inclination, which there's not going to be, so that's why I felt okay with going forward with what I'm about to say, but he said, but if there is an inclination that they want to do something, we'll need help attracting younger people, so I'll probably reach out to you.
Well, good.
And
I
I
don't
was
know
like,
anybody who would want to be involved.
yeah, I don't want to be
If he
involved.
calls me out, I'm going to tell him no.
I could probably, honest to God, with the way that people at, like, the Red Herring rehearsals talk about politics, I'll just be like, talk to
if
them.
you actually want to be involved,
Yeah.
call this guy.
Did you see how he did with the abortion? They want us to forget about the abortion. Just stuff like that. I'm like, talk to Dan Sachs. I don't know. I don't foresee that happening.
I don't either.
No. There's no way that the Clark County Democratic Party is going to do anything. And honestly, I don't know what they could, honest to God, I don't know what they could do with the way that the tides are turning. I just think it's a losing battle.
Absolutely.
And maybe that's like defeatist.
Clark County.
But what do
No.
you do?
I have no faith in the Democrats, and I consider myself one.
Yeah, what do you do? A lot of people in this area genuinely, like, would... They like, hate Nancy Pelosi. They hate the idea of a Democrat. They hate taxing
Especially
Tim Ryan.
here, Champaign County.
Oh, yeah.
Trump flags everywhere.
Yeah.
There's a guy who drives around with a Trump flag hanging from his truck, and then right on the other end of the truck, a flag that says "Fuck Joe Biden."
Oh, my God. Of course. There was a lot of stuff like that at the flea market at Traders World that we went to. There was a lot of fuck Joe Biden stuff and like pro-Trump stuff.
Yeah, we went down to the fall festival at Leeds, I think is what it's called, like where we were going to go camping. Like went down there yesterday to kind of have like some semblance that we were doing it. Everybody down there. Oh my God.
Really?
Oh my God. Every vendor at this festival was a Republican.
Oh
They
my
all had
God.
the Let's Go Brandon merch, Fuck Joe Biden merch, like.
I guess if it's what sells, I mean...
Oh, Jesus Christ,
I
give
know.
it up.
I know.
Give it the fuck up.
It's ridiculous. There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about
It's
it.
like we hated Donald Trump probably more than they hate fuck Joe Biden, but we're not driving around with shit that says fuck Donald Trump on
No.
all that.
I didn't
It's
even...
just fucking gay.
I know, it's gay. Yeah.
It's gay as
I have,
fuck.
like
who cares?
I do have like a bumper sticker. I never put it on, but I did always. Anytime they gave out free bumper stickers, I was always requesting one. And there was one that says like "No way, no how, no Trump," and it's just like his eyes behind
I would never
it.
put
It's
that
so I would never put it on, but I had to keep it, of course, for for the history of it. But I was interested. There was one other thing in the phone call, and then one other thing on the ballot that I wanted to mention. The other thing was he was, we were kind of wrapping up the phone call. It was like a good 20-minute, exchange. I said, and I saw that you've become a grandfather. Congratulations. He was like, well, no effort on my part. And I'm like,
Very Dan response.
I know. I'm like, well, I know. I laughed, and I'm like, well, I know that, but it's a stage of life. And he's like, you're right. And he's just like, that was it. And
Didn't talk about his grandson.
no, not really. But then he told me about Ben, what you already told me, and I pretended like I hadn't already heard it.
Okay.
And I was like, he told me that Ben moved in at the beginning of COVID and that it worked out perfectly because he was like, what would a single man do in Chicago during COVID? So better be with his parents. And yeah.
Lots of jerking off, I guess.
Mm-hmm. And so then he told me that he's taken over Sachs and Associates and all this stuff. Would I be interested in playing Dungeons and Dragons with him?
What? Random.
Yeah. And so I told
Did
him...
you say yes?
Yeah, I did say yes. Of course. I had to.
Oh my God, I
I
can't
had
wait
to
to
say
hear about
yes to
this if
that.
this
Yeah,
happens.
I had to say yes to
I
that.
don't want to be involved.
I told him... I've had multiple people, Jeff at Menards, but Bo Benton, and now Dan Sachs now Ben Sachs via Dan Sachs, that have asked me if I'm interested in doing some Dungeons and Dragons, and I'm generally open.
I've
been
quite
open.
a bit of people ask me to.
Yeah, and then nothing ever happens with it. As far as when I'm here to tell you, when you say you're interested, nothing ever happens.
Ever.
So it's like it doesn't matter. You could
I
say
actually
yes.
did get invited. Like I got like the details and everything about.
Oh, okay, I see. Yeah. That would be a little more intimidating or a little more serious, but I hope that it happens because I told him I was like, regardless, because it sounded like he was suggesting that I maybe would only be interested in coming over for something political.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, well, either way, I was like, win or lose, whether they want to, revitalize the party or not, I was like, I'd still like to hang out with you. I was like, we could like shoot the shit. I think I even said that. I was like, just shoot the shit or whatever. Because I know it is kind of weird. He's 75. Something like that. I mean, he's got to be up there.
Yeah,
and I'm 27. It is kind of weird. We're an unlikely pair of friends. But and that's when he said, well, that would be a good excuse, a good reason for you to come over would be if me and Taylor wanted to play Dungeons and Dragons with Ben, not with Dan. Dan's not interested, but it could be with Nancy. Ben, Nancy, me, and Taylor. That sounds fun to me, honestly. But Ben's the worst part of it, to be frank. Ben's the worst part of it, to be frank. But the idea of connecting with the Sachs family again, I love them. I really like them as people, If I spend half the time talking to his parents, well, then that's the case. I've already done that with Seth Arter.
Dude, I would love to see Nancy playing Dungeons and Dragons.
I would too. I really would too.
I would not want to play Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. You just are completely opposed to it?
No, I'm not opposed to it. I like the idea of pretending.
Mm-hmm. Well, clearly.
Yeah, but
no. No, not a fan?
Not worth my time.
Yeah. Jeff was the first person, and it was really just born of my crush of him. The fact that he offered, he wanted to hang out with me. I was like, I'd love to hang out with you. I'd love to play Dungeons and Dragons. And then, all these years, I've just been I've never done it, what's it all about? Well, I'll try anything once, you know what I mean? And every time I say yes, thinking I'll try anything once, nothing ever comes of it. So I hope Ben Sachs, if you're out there, it's on Ben Sachs to reach out and invite me over. So hopefully Dan and Nancy just arrange a play date for us. But that was the phone call with Dan that I wanted to share with you. But it also ties, since Dan's on the ballot, guess who else is on the ballot that we have to, and that I already did, vote against?
Against?
Mm-hmm.
Josh Mandel?
No. Think smaller. They're running for county commission.
Dale Henry.
Little bitch. You
Yep.
voted against him?
I voted against him.
You picked
Well, we're lucky. We're lucky. I guess you could consider this a campaign ad. So there's 3 candidates. Only one is running as under a party identification, which is interesting. I wanted to ask Dan what happened, but Dale's running independent.
Really?
He is not running as a Democrat, and he is not on the endorsed Democrat slate card. There's nobody on there for him. For the county commissioner, there's nobody on the endorsed Clark County Democratic page. There is Sasha Rittenhouse, who is the Republican candidate. She's the only one running with she's the only one running in a party. And then there's who I voted for, and who I suggested that everybody else vote for, is Tracy Tackett.
Okay.
Now she's running as an independent. She's the owner of Sippendippity. You know that? That's that place downtown where you go and you drink wine and you paint.
Interesting. Okay.
And you lead a thing. She's a local small business owner. Strong, a really successful small business owner. Apparently, it is a successful small business. But she, she's running as an independent because she knows both sides. Ain't got the answers. Regardless of the fact, the reason she got my vote 100% is because Dale Henry shushed you.
I appreciate
10 years ago.
Literally, I mean, your consequences, your actions have consequences,
Yes.
Dale.
Dale Henry is
you can't,
ass.
you can't be an asshole to somebody.
Yes.
I'm not going to vote for you.
No. And so, as a result, I'm obviously not going to vote for a Republican
It's
either.
actually going to make me really happy to vote against him.
Yes, it made me feel happy. It made me happy to vote for Tracy Tackett, too.
I'm really happy that
I'm really glad
to
there's
not
an
only
independent
vote for Dan
candidate.
Sachs, I get to vote against Dale Henry.
Exactly.
When would that have ever
Exactly.
happened? In what timeline?
Hey, here we are, 10 years after Dale Henry usurped Dan Sachs to be
Literally 10 years.
committee chairman, and now they're both on the ballot, and we can show support for one and disdain for another.
Fuck. Fuck.
But we only can do it if you go out and vote, folks. So, you know, well, it's too late to register at this point, but it's not too late to vote at
When's
this
the voting
point.
day?
It's like November 8th, but early voting's now.
I can go early vote?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
I'll
yeah,
make a
early
trip down to
voting's
the Clark
now.
County Board of Elections.
Yeah. Nice. It's a nice place. I like going there.
I've been there.
Yeah, well, I know that. I know you've been there. I'm just saying, I like going there. I'm probably going to wait until my mom and Taylor also fill out their ballots, and then I'm just going to take the ballots and put them in the drop box right outside the election thing. But I've always been kind of afraid that then somebody's going to come and, like, dynamite it, or, like, just, like, come and pour, like, water into it, you know, something like that. If it was a more high-profile election, people are, like, people like Taylor's grandparents. I'm not saying that they specifically, but I am kind of saying they specifically would probably believe that all mail-in ballots are fake. So knowing that people are putting their fake mail-in ballots in this receptacle makes it, I think, a target for damage, you know?
Ridiculous.
So I was really debating, but ultimately it would be like, I feel like it needs 2 stamps. Like I was telling you, the conspiracy, it's on really thick paper.
Yeah.
Really thick paper that I thought the envelope had something in there to keep it from bending. Like I thought they put something extra in there to keep the whole thing from bending. No, it was just a ballot. It's hard. It's like really thick.
Interesting.
And so I was concerned, and I even brought it up to my mom. I was like, do you think that they did this to make people like insufficient postage? I don't think it weighs that much. But just to be safe, I was going to put 2 stamps on it. That means we'd be wasting 6 stamps when I could just take it to the Board of Elections myself. So that's what I'm going to do.
It's like literally like 10 minutes from your house.
That's what I'm going to end up doing. But I just can't believe... And so inside the envelope for the thing, it says on there, it has like this little piece, it has this little window, and it says the postage for your marked absentee ballot will be... And it's blank.
Are you serious?
Yes.
What the fuck?
Yes.
We know Republicans are sneaky.
I know!
They're sneaky as fuck.
I know! You know who else is on the ballot? This is less important, but also I was thinking of them when I was voting. Treasurer, and you remember in my salary video, Robert Sprague, the guy that, like, he put all that, he was the one that put all that shit behind he put it back. Josh Mandel was the one that made all that teacher salary data public, surprisingly. Robert Sprague's the one that made it private again. Well, he's running for re-election. I guess it's his re-election, so you know I didn't vote for him. I mean, a lot of them, I voted, I didn't realize how much I was going to talk about the ballot, but I might as well get it all out. There's also 2 issues on the ballot, and I voted, honestly, the most liberal ballot possible. Not only did I vote for every Democrat up and down the ballot, which was, you know, the only liberal option, plus Tracy Tackett, because I wouldn't vote for Dale Henry. Then there's 2 issues, and both of those issues, the first one is something about it changes the language of how they set bail, and the opponents of it said it'll negatively affect people of color. So I just voted against it, because it's like, it said it changes something about the way that they set bail, and because of that, it would negatively affect people of color.
Okay.
And then issue 2 was something that was where I think this is pretty liberal. So issue 2 is this really bizarre thing. Like when you read it, you're like, well, yeah. It says, should only legal citizens be allowed to vote in elections?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So then I looked into it, and it's directly in response to Yellow Springs, who has allowed 27 undocumented immigrants. They have agreed and voted to allow them to vote in their elections.
In just local Yellow Springs elections?
I think so, yeah. I think so. They said it works for our village, it works for our town. They're like, we like it. They asked us to be included.
That's very liberal.
That's very liberal. And I was like, you know what? I voted against it. I'm like, well, if it works for them, why shouldn't they be allowed to vote?
You voted against that. That's crazy.
Yeah, I know.
What do you mean?
Why shouldn't they be allowed to vote in their little... As long as they're not voting for... I mean, well, to be fair...
Just think about it on a larger scale, Zach. Come on.
Well, I know, you're right. It is hard to say. It's hard to say illegal immigrants should vote. Illegal immigrants should be allowed to vote. It's hard to say. But at the same time, like, you know, like the person in Yellow Springs said, they are contributing members of our community.
They're not though.
Well, in terms of taxation, I guess you're right. But literally, in terms of being in our community and contributing to it, they are.
But they're kinda.
Well, by working in the community, I mean, I guess if you don't have a social security number, what, are you working under the table?
Yeah.
Well, you're still contributing to the community.
Well, you're getting some work done, I guess.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah.
You're not.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
I guess by contributing to the community or helping somebody
Well,
who's paying you under the table.
Is the only
And
way
that person's contributing.
is the only way to contribute to the community to pay taxes, though?
In the eyes of the government.
I guess you're right. But does that mean just because they can't pay taxes? So what? I guess I don't know. I voted against it. I can't change my vote, but
I'm not judging you for.
no, I know
It's funny. It'll
never pass.
It'll never go your way.
When you read it, it sounds like, well, yeah, isn't that what already is the case? You know what I mean? You read it and you're like, well, yeah. It literally says, like, should this following amendment be passed? And the text of the amendment says, like, only voters who are qualified Ohio voters should be allowed to vote in Ohio elections. And it's like,
Yeah.
well, yeah. And so then you look into it and it's like, well, this is why. Because in Yellow Springs, 27 people have been allowed to vote that don't actually meet that.
I don't see any
qualification.
issue if Yellow Springs, the village, wants to do that. I don't see any issue with that in terms of like statewide. Yeah.
Yeah. But then I think this will, in fact, remove those 27 people from being allowed to vote. I mean, it's
I'll
on
vote
such a small scale.
I'll vote against it just because it'll never pass. Like, I don't agree with it.
Yeah. So you're going to vote for it against it anyway?
I think it's funny.
Yeah, it is funny.
It's a
It is
fucking
funny.
ridiculous notion to have.
It is funny. And then the last...
Like, imagine if we just fucking decided to go to Canada, and Canada's like, oh, well, they're here. They should have a say in how things go, even though they didn't, like...
You're right.
It's just like, I should not have a say in what Canada's
You're right,
doing, especially
you're
if
right.
I'm there illegally.
I guess you're
Like,
right.
not
I get
contributing to their, like, social infrastructure.
it. I get it.
Do I have any problem with illegal people being here? No. Just make them legal.
Yeah.
Like, make a path for them to be legal.
Yeah. And then let them vote.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I would even go so far as to let the incarcerated vote. I actually think it's kind of wrong that the incarcerated
I think
can't
that's
vote.
less controversial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Why
kind of
should
wrong.
the incarcerated
Yeah.
be allowed to vote?
It's wrong that, like, people put people in prison for laws, and then the people that make the laws keep them in prison. They can't. The people that they put in prison can't vote in new leaders who potentially could change the laws that,
Yeah.
understandably, potentially could remove their sentence. You know what I mean? Like, they can't. You're not allowed to. You don't have any vote. You don't have any say.
When are we going to see marijuana legalization on the fucking ballot?
Hopefully soon. I mean, did you see President Biden
I did, yeah, that's
what
what I'm
he
thinking.
did? Yeah.
Yeah, but now he's calling, like, our governor's not going to fucking release.
No, not unless we vote for Nan Whaley.
She would.
She would.
She would.
She would.
Why wouldn't she?
I don't know. I just think she's so against the opioid epidemic that she would be like, no.
No, I think she would.
Because it also helps people in a lot of ways, too.
I wouldn't
Marijuana.
say that.
You don't think marijuana helps people?
I wouldn't say it would help addicts.
Well, no.
I mean, maybe just have something less, like, extreme that they're...
Well, it's just like,
abusing.
at least if you introduce a legal way for people to buy marijuana, like, maybe then, like, instead of, hey, you want this pill, they could, like, it's more culturally acceptable to go out and buy a joint.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah,
what
I think that's the case.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'm just thinking of a woman of color. Marijuana laws historically have targeted people of color.
Yeah. A lot of people are going to be freed because of Joe Biden, to be honest.
That's fucking amazing that he
And
did that.
they're nice. He's trying to do this all right here before midterms, but you know what? I don't know if it'll be enough.
Yeah,
I don't,
no, it won't.
especially not here in Ohio. I don't
No.
think it'll have any chance. But you know what? We'll keep you updated. Maybe Dan Sachs will be our House of Representatives in Ohio, but I doubt it. I would
That'd be
love
really
if
cool.
he did. I would love it if he did, our state rep, but we'll see. But you know what? Go to vote.org. Might as well throw it in there. You know, I'm sure you can get some information if you haven't decided to vote yet, the person that's not listening to this episode. And other than that, this was our nice Halloween /election /Democratic Party update. And until next time, folks, stay out.
Not like the fart after.
Say what?